Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I know it's not our usual Wednesday spot, but I do have construction going on outside my door. So I apologize if there's any background construction noises because that is just my reality right now. And we are all imperfect beings living imperfect lives. So welcome as you join me for the self-publishing Q&A live series where I go over my 52 weeks worth of strategies to write, publish, and start selling your book in a year. And we are on week 8, which means we're talking about time management, which I'm sure you're excited for because this is one of the most common questions that I get from writers, artists, and creatives alike, because time management is kind of the creative's bane, knowing when to do the thing and when not to do the thing, and being able to take advantage of our moods when we are in the mood to do the thing but have other things to do. That's what we're going to be talking about. So today we're going to be going over the habit tracking self-accountability system that will change your life. Flexible time blocking is what it's called, and I know you hear this a lot, but trust me on this one. I have changed many a life with this system. And this kind of task accountability started for me back in high school. I was about 16 years old. I was working and going to school at the same time when I first devised a system where I would draw a colored dot on the back of my left hand each day, corresponding with the different tasks that I had on my plate for that day. So I have different colors for different categories of tasks. That's even something that I did way back in high school. And this helped me quickly prioritize my commitments, as well as give me an easy way to identify what kinds of commitments I had on my plate for that day. So a certain day may have 3 green tasks, 1 blue task, and 1 purple. So I would put 3 green dots, 1 blue dot, and 1 purple dot on my hand to keep me on track throughout the day. Nowadays, I have a handy dandy calendar widget on my phone. We all have access to one of those, hopefully, if we are a very globally connected society. And we usually have some sort of calendar widget available on our phones. And I easily reference that throughout the day. And the system still holds true because I still color code my tasks on my calendar according to the system. The overall aim of this type of prioritization is to divide your tasks into categories ranked from most important to least important so that you can make quicker decisions on the go when life forces you to reshuffle things. Maybe your kid wakes up with a terrible cough and needs to stay home from school. Maybe your dog got into some trouble in the backyard and you need to go to the emergency vet. Maybe your mother-in-law calls you from the airport and asks to be picked up last minute. These are all life scenarios that can disrupt our carefully laid plans, our carefully laid schedules. Life happens, and more often than not, unexpected responsibilities, challenges, opportunities, or tasks disrupt our plans. That's life. We have to expect it at a certain point. So that's why we not only need to build a strategic accountability system for ourselves, but also intentionally allow wiggle room for when things go sideways, because things will always go sideways. I guarantee it. So that is my problem with traditional time blocking systems. They are very rigid. And at the end of the day, I find that they're unsustainable and they lead to shame spirals because you're not able to consistently keep up with the plans that you've made all the time. It's impossible to because life happens. The point of using color prioritization in this system is so that when you are moving things around, when life happens and you need to reshuffle your schedule in order to accommodate the things that come up, you can quickly decide which tasks are more flexible and can be moved around, and which tasks must happen in a certain time frame. Some deliverables have to happen. Some deadlines have to be met. So this type of color prioritization helps you make those decisions on the go so that the tasks that have to be done do actually get done, but the tasks that can be moved get moved to give you a little more wiggle room when things go sideways. So for example, I have blue activities, and those are for myself. That includes leisure time, self time, or personal errands that I have to run, like going to the grocery store. Light purple activities are general work tasks. So, admin, marketing, prep work, or content creation falls under that category. Dark purple activities are work meetings. So, networking meetings, coffee meetings, events, or workshops. Red activities are income related tasks. So, client meetings, appointment reminders, money management stuff, so on and so forth. And I use green tasks, and those are for my mental and emotional health. So, social commitments, therapy, or personal projects. Those green tasks are often those healthy mind platter activities that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. And so I rank those colors based on how important those tasks are. So, those different colors represent ranked priorities for me. At the top of the list are those red tasks. Those are the money making tasks. Those have to happen because I have to make money. Then comes dark purple. So those are the meetings that I've committed to. I've said I'm going to be here at this time to meet with this person. So those are pretty important. Those are high priority meetings. Then comes light purple. Those are work tasks. So I should probably get them done, but they have more flexibility than, say, meetings or money making activities. Green comes next. So those are the ones that have a lower priority, and then blue comes last. So that's the lowest. So blue tasks, for example, remember that's like personal errands, leisure type activities. Those are the ones that I'm most willing to move around when I have to reschedule and make space for other commitments that come up. So first I move the blue tasks when I have to shuffle things. Then I move the green. If that still doesn't give me enough room, then I move the light purple. I try not to move dark purple and red unless I can help it, but that gives me more leeway when things go sideways. So what exactly do I mean when I say like move around, when I reshuffle or reschedule things? This is a system for organizing your schedule so that you know what tasks you need to do, how long those tasks are going to take, and when those tasks need to be done, paired with the ability to move blocks of time around when you need to. That's what makes it flexible time blocking. That way, the tasks don't fall off your plate if something does come up, like an emergency or another time sensitive task. So, say, for example, that I want to devote time on a daily basis to social media tasks. And I've determined that it takes me about 45 minutes to check my platforms, create my posts, and respond to notifications. That's my social media task block. I will put it in my schedule as a light purple task. Remember, these are the general work activities like admin, marketing, content creation, so on and so forth. So social media counts as a light purple task. And I will make a recurring appointment that occurs every weekday from 10:45 to 11:30 to do my social media time block in light purple. So then when I sit down at my desk every morning, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing during that time frame on my calendar. And if I do happen to have another important meeting that I need to set up during that time, I need to move the time block around, then I can drag and drop that particular social media block for that particular day to a different time. So I can accommodate the meeting at that time and then do social media afterwards instead. That way, I can still attend to both responsibilities without letting my social media tasks disappear, without letting them fall to the wayside. So, this type of system creates consistency, and consistency creates results. So, it's a great way to systemize and prioritize your time in a way that works best for you. So, another example for me is lunch. I always have to schedule a lunch block into my calendar because I often get busy and forget to eat. So I assign half an hour to eat every weekday on my calendar. And it helps remind me to actually go and eat my lunch because I often get distracted or I schedule a meeting over that time without thinking and end up hangry and confused and unfocused. So the key to setting up your schedule this way is to make sure that your time is prioritized with intention. So I often think of it as past Claire taking care of present or future Claire. Past Claire already decided to prioritize this task in my schedule. She already made the block and she already decided this is an important thing to do. So present Claire just needs to sit down and do the thing. It really helps decrease the amount of time that I spend making decisions about what I'm doing on any given day. Decision fatigue is real. If you haven't heard that term before, go look it up, do a little gander, and it's a thing. It's really existing, and your brain is going to get tired if it makes too many decisions in a single day. And my cognitive energy is better spent on, for example, fleshing out my novel's world building system more so than deciding whether I should walk the dog before or after dinner. Those are both decisions that I have to make. One of them is a decision that past Claire can make for me. So if past Claire makes the decision about when to walk the dog, then present Claire can focus on world building, right? So this system even applies to non-work related tasks, like I said, for the healthy mind platter activities. Those tend to be green for me. So take playtime, for example. I'm a huge fan of Critical Role. It's a group of voice actors who stream their Dungeons and Dragons campaigns online, and they usually stream every Thursday evening from 7 to 11 p.m. So I block out that time in my calendar every week as a green task. It is a super fun and great way to insert some reliable playtime into my week so that I know that I'm hitting that requirement for my Healthy Mind Platter activities every week. Or physical time is another example. I aim to go to the gym every week. It's one of the physical time Healthy Mind Platter activities that I try to make time for. So I intentionally block out time in my schedule. Lately, it's been Sunday mornings so that I don't schedule over it. So from 8:45 to 10:15 every Sunday morning, it takes me about 15 minutes to drive to the gym, an hour to work out, and then 15 minutes to drive home. And then I shower, and then I'm usually available for other things by the time it hits 10:30. That's actually when I do my writing blocks. So Sundays are gym days and writing days for me. I go to the gym in the morning, and then I spend most of the late morning to early afternoon writing on Sundays. And I'm never worried about whether I'm going to have time to work out or not, or whether I'm going to be able to get my writing block in or do my social media tasks on weekdays, because it's all scheduled out and ready to go. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to make that decision. I just have to do the thing that's on my calendar. So sometimes when I'm explaining the system to creatives, they do bulk at the concept of structuring and scheduling their creative flow. With my own creative spirit, it is true that sometimes I look at my task blocks and I don't want to do them. I look at my calendar and I think I do not have the creative juices for that right now, or I'm not in the right mind space for that task at the moment. So you know what I do? I reschedule that time block. I move it to a different day. I move it to a different time. And maybe I move a playtime activity to that space instead. Maybe I move a meditation activity or a connecting activity to that space instead. So I'm kind of bartering my time in a way. And that's the best part of this time blocking system. It's flexible. That way I can move the task blocks around based on where my energies are at for the day. Sometimes I can't move them if it's a red or a dark purple task, if it's a specific meeting, but if it's doing social media tasks, bookkeeping, or writing, sitting down to write some of my novel, I can move that block of time, to another day without letting it fall off my radar completely. I also like to look at the task blocks that are ahead of me. So if on Monday I'm feeling particularly productive, the juices are flowing, it is all clicking for me, and I have all of my task blocks that I had scheduled for that Monday already done, then I might grab some from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that I have more wiggle room on those days. and I get them done ahead of time, which opens up more space for future Claire. It's not like I start and finish every single task down to the exact minute either. It's more like a timed and prioritized to-do list that keeps me accountable to the things that I want and need to do. So it's a visual way to plan ahead of time, the intentional allocation of my time and energy throughout the week. I don't leave things to happenstance while also leaving space for spontaneity and flexibility. So, what happens if you do go to move a block of time and you can't find a space to put it? That opens up a conversation with yourself about your schedules and priorities as a whole. Is this task necessary for you? Why did you decide that that task was important? Can someone else do it instead? Is there an automation or a software that you can use to offload it? Are other tasks filling up your calendar unnecessarily? Are there other things that you can take off to make the space for it? Can someone or something else do those other tasks for you so that you have space for this particular task? And if you do find yourself moving the same task block time and time again, I have found myself in that cycle before where I'm like, nope, tomorrow, nope, tomorrow, nope, tomorrow, nope, tomorrow. That also opens up another conversation with yourself. Is my issue with the task itself, or is it with finding the time, money, or energy for the task? Those questions lead to more self awareness, which leads to more strategic approaches. So, for example, I have trouble creating content at the end of the workday because my brain is tired. So, I usually have to schedule content creation before 2 p.m. in order to get it done. Otherwise, my brain is too tired to do it. So, the point is valuing your time and your intentions to make space for the things that matter to you. So, your exercise for this week is to take all of the insights that you've gleaned from the Healthy Mind Platter activities, dust off your goals and intentions that you've decided on in the second and third weeks of the schedule, and take a good hard look at your schedule. Prioritize and update your calendar accordingly. What do you want to intentionally devote your time, energy, and resources to? Set up your schedule that way. And there are tons of commitments and responsibilities and priorities that we have to other people. So have a hard conversation with yourself and decide whether you want to keep those obligations, commitments, and responsibilities. Schedule them in for time and make sure that you're investing and scheduling your time intentionally. If you are devoting a lot of time to someone else, make sure that you have other blocks of time devoted to you and your goals and your priorities. Do not give up your dreams for the sake of someone else, unless that's what you want to do. This is self-accountability. We are leading with the knowledge that we are responsible for our own decisions with how we decide to spend our time, money, and energy. So just make sure that your schedule reflects that. It's not your schedule's fault. You make your schedule. You're in charge of that. Take the power, take the ownership, take control. All right? So if you run into problems, please do let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm always happy to help. Week 9, we are actually going to be talking about making and breaking habits. So if you do find yourself wanting to change some habits, wanting to add some habits, we're going to be talking about that next week. So there's a system for that, and we'll get into it next week. Have fun.